How's it going, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome to a new Legion of Zoomcast with myself, Brad Symcox, and Tom Childs. How are you doing, mate? Everything all right?
Yeah, I'm good. It's been a while since I've chatted to you, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know why we decided to do this, but we obviously miss each other. We're obviously sick to death of our partners, and we thought, let's get on the old webcam and talk and head to your domain and talk Chiefs.
Yeah, back on YouTube. This is going out on the Brit Chief YouTube channel for now until we actually create our own YouTube channel for the Legion of Zoomcast. The reason it all came about, this Legion of Zoomcast, was because obviously the Legion of Zoom is a thing that kind of came from, shall I say my lines? Am I allowed to say
brain.
my lines? My brain, yeah, that would have been a better word. That would have been a better word. Yeah, it actually appeared about a year ago, probably even 2 years now. 2 years ago now, and even though I created it, Tom was the kind of let's say a culprit in it all, where he kind of put it out in the domain, and it kind of took off, didn't it, mate? And this is where we are now with it. The Legion of Zoom is a thing. It is now a Legion of Zoom tagline, is now a Super Bowl champion tagline as well. Mm-hmm. And we thought, you know what, let's just ride on that and go and make our own Zoomcast.
Yeah, live every bit of that fame, Brad. The 15 minutes of fame that you've got, just milk it in every way, shape and form you can. You've even got a T-shirt.
I've even got the T-shirt, mate. Where's yours?
I wasn't sent one. You give me too much credit when it comes to the Legion of Zoom. We all know it's yours.
Well, I'm actually wearing the Arrowhead Pride Legion of Zoom T-shirt, which was sent to me. So
there you go. Royalties.
Exactly.
For the
royalties.
Name. There you go.
Exactly.
How many T-shirts did you actually get from the Legion of Zoom?
Oh God. I think there are about 6 or 7.
Wow.
Yeah, and I actually got the official one from the Chiefs as well.
Jeez.
The Legion of Zoom. Yeah, I haven't framed that yet, but I'll have to. But yeah, there was a few. I mean, I think Dad Bod Tees was another one. They sent a few out. It just seemed to just take off, and that was the thing that was kind of the realization hit that there was a big thing now.
Yeah.
Legion of Zoom thing, and you and I never even thought it was going to take off that wildly.
No, of course not.
I mean, how it all started. I mean, the original tweet is probably only got like 35 likes on it. The first original tweet that I did, the Zoom tagline on it, and it was, I think I've got to thank you really for putting it out there, because you asked me if you could use it for an article you were writing, wasn't it?
Yeah, close enough. Headlines, I got in contact with you to see if I could use it for headlines, and you said yes, and AP's hits were very good that day. The traffic and social media was very good as well, because it seemed to take off. But moving on, I noticed you've got some new surroundings.
Yes, mate.
Mr. Symcox. It looks very nice. It looks very un-Chiefs-like.
Yeah, very different to what it was before. Obviously, people who were watching this on the Brit Chief channel, very different background now. There's hardly anything Chiefs related, as you can see from this side, because this is actually the office bit.
Okay.
But I do have some other bits around the corner, which is like, helmets and things like that on there, which I'm trying to keep the Chief theme running through the new room.
Nice.
The TV's not on the wall yet, and I've just found out that NFL Game Pass isn't on the apps.
Oh.
So I'm a bit disappointed by that.
So you have to buy a new console to put upstairs. Oh, damn it, I need a PS5 and an Xbox X. Oh, my God.
But the apparently Samsung said that the Game Pass was on their apps.
Okay.
It isn't.
Yeah.
So I've written an angry letter to them, but it will be up and running, functional before.
They've had your pants down there, haven't they?
They certainly have, mate. They really have. But there's more people like it. Apparently, other UK fans as well have actually complained about it. But anyway, it's not a complaining show, mate, is it?
No, it's a happy show. We support the Kansas City Chiefs. We support the world champions Kansas City Chiefs.
That sounds so good, doesn't it?
That's a good thing.
That is a good thing. There's going to be various categories in this kind of chat. It's not just going to be me and Tom and our beautiful faces chatting with each other about the Chiefs. We're actually going to have a set categories that are going to be each week, where we give a few fun things. We obviously give a bit of our own take on previous games and up and coming games, but also a few little kind of quirky little things which we'll go through as we go through this particular session. So anyway, the first thing we're going to do is
I think the cool cats call it structure.
Structure. No, I don't like that. Don't like structure in my life. Hate it. So, Tom, first category we want to use is actually the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we're going to use this from what the previous game was for the Chiefs. What was good, what was bad, and what was downright ugly in this game? Anything good? Should we start with the good first?
Yeah, well, first of all, I like the fact that we've introduced graphics to the show. Like, this is taking it out there. Like, you guys get graphics. Like, there is no expense spared on this show. I used all my editing might to produce a graphic, and of course, Patrick Mahomes is the good. I'm the bad, and Brad is the fugly.
Yeah. Nice.
But Miami, what a weird game.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to describe it. The good, what do we say the good? Probably Mecole Hardman's touchdown was...
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Was probably my favourite moment of the game, because it kind of just put the game to bed. Like, the Chiefs were already on a roll at this point. They'd scored 21 consecutive points. And then... next thing you know, Mecole Hardman is bundling into the end zone. It's been a while since we've seen something special from special teams. I remember the yesteryear when 2013, when Dave 2 first come to town, everyone was excited for special teams. It didn't matter who the punt returner was, whether it was Dexter McCluster or someone else. Whenever the Chiefs got to return a punt, you always felt like it was an opportunity to score. And that's we kind of had that with Tyreek Hill at the start of his career, and he's kind of been taken out of the mix when it comes to that. So it's been a little bit lackluster special teams of late, but to see a special teams touchdown in a spot where we probably needed it to put more of a cushion between us and the Dolphins, I really enjoyed that. What about yourself?
Yeah, that was obviously a good point. I mean, the good point for me was the fact that the Chiefs come back again from another 10-point deficit, which seems to be, if you ever score 10 points, it's game over already for the opposition. And the other good thing was the actual venue, Hard Rock Stadium.
Had to get that one in there.
Yeah, we had to get that one in there. We love that stadium. Mahomes clearly has a problem with it. He has this good, the bad, and the ugly kind of relationship with it, doesn't it? He seems to do well in some parts, but obviously have some terrible, terrible times, which it will lead us on to obviously the bad. Which, for me, I think the bad was obviously Mahomes' 3 interceptions that he had. That was bad for me. But no matter how many interceptions he throws, he's gonna either win out of the game, or he's gonna rack up the odds again, and he's gonna take this team, lead them on, and take them to another W. And that's clearly what he did. You know, he likes adversity. Hard Rock Stadium was the scene of another kind of difficult game as well, especially right from the start. But I think it just helps, doesn't it, with the rest of the team just to settle down after that. But no, I think that's the bad for me. What about you?
Well, before I get on to my bad, like, I saw a stat the other day. I actually included it in the power rankings for Arrowhead Pride, that Mahomes is like 0.888% has a 0.888 win percentage when he's 10 points down over the last 2 or 3 years. And the league average is, or not the league average, the league in total is 0.167 win percentage. So he's almost 4 times as likely to win a game from a 10-point deficit than any other quarterback. We have this saying in Kansas City and over here, obviously, for 3rd and Mahomes, like, if it's 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 20, we don't really get worried because we know that he's going to pick it up more often than not. And that's how I feel about 10-point losses now. Whenever the Chiefs go down 10 points, I'm cool. I'm relaxed. I'm tweeting out. I'm chilled. I'll get a beer. I know we're going to win this game. Me and you are in a group chat with a bunch of other UK fans that all support other teams. And every time the Chiefs go 10 points down, they pipe up, oh, here we go. The Chiefs aren't playing very well this week, blah, blah, blah. Are they going to be quiet this week? And I'm just sitting there laughing at these guys because, like, it's been 2.5 years now. Like, do these guys not know? Does the rest of the NFL not know that when Mahomes goes 10 points down, he goes, fine. I'm going to turn it on.
We're almost like that meme, aren't we, with Kermit the Frog drinking his tea.
Yeah. Quite fitting because it's Mahomes. But it's astonishing how people don't realise that going 10 points down to the Chiefs doesn't really increase your win percentage. Like the Dolphins got 4 turnovers on Sunday against the Chiefs.
You should be winning games like that with 4 turnovers.
Of course you should. But the Chiefs still scored 33 points. And I've actually wrote my 5 questions for the Saints website today, and they asked what the Saints will win this game. But the Saints won't win this game if X happens. And I put if the Chiefs are below 80% or above 80% rather, then they'll win the game. The Chiefs will win the game because that's all it takes now. The Chiefs only have to play 100% for a quarter, 2 quarters. And that's it. It's game over. It's mad. But anyways, I digressed. This is meant to be short. This is meant to be a snappy show, short and snappy. The bad.
Short and snappy takes, Tom. Come on.
The sack. The sack was just horrendous. Minus 30 yards. It was quite funny, to be honest. 3 more yards and it was a safety. Losing 30 yards on a play like that, people say, oh, it's a bad play. He's got to lose the MVP to Aaron Rodgers now because he took a minus 30 sack. But how many times have we seen Mahomes roll out in that situation, escape pressure, and then make the play? Are you going to ask Patrick Mahomes not to do that from now on? To throw the ball away like Aaron Rodgers every time he does? That was really bad English. Like Aaron Rodgers does every single time? No. You want him to extend plays. If it means he takes a 30-yard sack every now and then, who cares? More often than not, he'll take a 10-yard sack. And we all know about third and Mahomes. So I just talked about it. So, carry on doing that, Mahomes. I'm not bothered at all. Yeah,
that was the ugly for me. That was definitely the ugly because, the minus 30 yards, you thought, I mean, it's never been heard of really from a Mahomes play before, has it?
No.
And I think a lot of people really pounced on that, especially on social media.
Yeah,
they pounced on it going, oh, yeah, this is where his dip starts to happen, and then obviously the interceptions were happening as well. And I think people were thinking that they were almost licking the lips at the thought that, this is the downfall of Patrick Mahomes. And, and then he goes and wins the game. It's like you were saying, it's almost like people don't really watch the Chiefs or don't watch Patrick Mahomes. And they have this kind of opinion that he's overrated. I mean, the amount of social media, tweets, Facebook posts, things like that from other opposition teams that's saying Mahomes is overrated. Look at the weapons he's got. Yeah, I mean, it's a moot point for me. I mean, these are the same players that everybody was kind of putting down. People say that Kelce's the second best tight end.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill is a glorified punt returner, that kind of thing. And all of a sudden, weapons.
Yeah.
I think I saw, did you tweet something the other day saying, I think somebody was saying the same thing about Mahomes and his weapons. And Rodgers hasn't got weapons.
Yeah.
Have you seen the weapons that Rodgers has got?
Like Devontae Adams at the moment is probably the best all-round wide receiver in the league. Like Tyreek Hill's close, but Devontae Adams is balling out. Aaron Jones is ridiculous. Valdez-Scantling and Alan Lazard, they aren't bad players either. He has weapons. Obviously, he hasn't got anyone like Travis Kelce, and Travis Kelce is the X factor of that receiving corps for sure. He's been unreal. But to say that Aaron Rodgers hasn't got weapons is just wrong. He has an O-line. He has a true number one wide receiver, and he has a running back that is very near to the top of the league. So, and obviously you've got Aaron Rodgers' skill himself. He's an elite quarterback. He's going to go down as one of the best of all time. So this whole Mahomes versus Rodgers takes is just becoming a bit boring right now, to be honest, because they're both really good. Let's appreciate both of them.
Did you have an ugly, or was we just going to use mine?
The ugly. Do I have an ugly?
Do you have an ugly?
Welcome to Intermission.
Yeah, go on. Ask me again, sorry. Go on.
Yeah. So, what about you, mate? Do you have an ugly?
That's a bit rude. My ugly, I had it, but then I forgot. Okay, the Chiefs winning ugly is ugly.
Yeah.
Some people say it's not a problem. I kind of think it is, how close some of these games are, because they're close against bad teams. And we're seeing bad teams hang around in games. Okay, granted, we're getting every single team's 100%, and I know that. But we need to start putting these teams away. We need, like, the Dolphins, they recovered that onside kick. They've got a couple of shots to the end zone to win that game. And this is a problem I've got with the Chiefs at the moment, that I'm more relaxed when they're losing than I am when they're winning. And we keep letting teams back into games. Yes, we're playing well for 1 or 2 quarters, but the fourth quarter, especially in some games recently, have been god-awful. Yeah. And teams have had opportunities to beat us, and they haven't managed to. But good teams will. Like, we get onto the Saints game, but they're the type of team that won't let us get away with having a bad fourth quarter. So that's kind of what I'm worried about at the moment, and will be worried about in January.
Is that a case though? Because I mean, I brought this up quite a few times, and I've actually been ripped for it. Where I noticed in the last game that the third quarter we suddenly started running the ball a lot more, and I was thinking, oh God, here we go. We've closed the playbook. This is the Chiefs shutting down the game because we've got what was it, a 20-point lead or something like that we had at the time, and it's difficult to get out of that and put it into the next gear when you suddenly see the other team getting back into it.
Yeah.
And I see it more often than not that we do kind of start shutting the game down really early. And then we find that we're in a position where it's down to the last play of the game. So I agree with you. I mean, it is an ugly side to it, but I can understand a lot why Reed does it. He doesn't want to give away too much. Obviously, he wants to save stuff for the playoffs. But it is nerve-wracking when it happens.
We've got to remember, we're in a position where, okay, we can afford to drop this week's game with the playoff situation as it is. But for the last 5 or 6 weeks, we've had to win all of those games. We've felt like we've had to win all those games, especially because Pittsburgh, up until 10 days ago or 11 days ago, were undefeated. And it's for me, winning ugly is a sign of champions, yes. Yeah. But I just don't want to see it every week. Like, I just want us to, like, it's not going to happen this week. But the Falcons and the Chargers, I don't want them to be in games at all. I want those games over at halftime. I want to see Chad Henne some more. We saw Chad Henne. It was like a 2-week stretch at the start of the season when we saw Chad Henne. That's what I want to see. I want to see Chad Henne or Matt Moore in at quarterback and Mahomes with his feet up on the sideline.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see, wouldn't it? I know people are obviously saying, "Oh, well, he's got records to break," but I'd rather he broke those than something else. You know what I mean? Anyway, should we move on to the next fun topic? Next fun content that we're going to be doing is we've actually been racking our heads around this because we wanted to do something a bit more visual, a bit more cool, and we've come up with the uniform cool wall.
Don't sue us, Top Gear. I have a graphic for you. Another graphic.
Uniform cool wall.
There we go.
We've noticed. Yeah, nice graphic, Tom. Well done, mate. I love that. We've nicked it clearly off a TV program over here called Top Gear.
Americans know about Top Gear. Don't doubt that. They bloody love that.
Love Top Gear, don't they?
So they do. They love it. I just swore. Oh, let me go again. Oh, Americans know about Top Gear. Don't doubt that. They love it.
With stealing, basically, the cool wall, which, this is the uniform cool wall. We've had so many debates, especially on our chat sessions we have with the likes of Arrowheads abroad, and obviously the friends in our fantasy league chats about what the uniforms look like in each of these teams. And we are going to be doing this quite regularly, where we'll have Sub-Zero, which is the uniform is the best kind of uniform, or one of the best uniforms in the league. We'll have cool, we'll have uncool, and we'll have flaming bag of dog doo-doo. So we don't swear on the show. Best to worst. So what we're going to do is, obviously with it being the first ever show, we're going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, you'd expect us to put this uniform in Sub-Zero, wouldn't you? Instead, we have variations, which me and Tom were a bit torn about, aren't we? Now, I think we both agree that we like the red and white, don't we?
Yes, 100%.
We like the red jersey, white pants. Yeah, we like that.
If we're gonna do that right now, that's straight away going into cool. It's not quite Sub-Zero because we want to save Sub-Zero, and we can move uniforms up as well and down as and when we please. But right now, I think the traditional look of the Kansas City Chiefs uniform, the red and white, is cool.
Cool.
Just
cool. I agree.
Not quite Sub-Zero. It's definitely not uncool, but it's just cool.
It is cool. It is a cool. I mean, the jersey, the patch, a nice bit of gold in there, and it's just nice. It's classy. Classic. Yeah, it's classic. Yeah, it's a classy kind of uniform.
Obviously, being an Arsenal fan, I love the red and white. So, I don't particularly love Arsenal right now, but I love the red and white. So, it's cool.
Well,
it's cool.
So we're both agreed. Mm-hmm. Chiefs' main uniform is in the cool. Yeah,
for now.
Right. The problem lies between the variations, which are the red and red, the white and white. Right? I love the red and red. The reason I love the red and red is I think a lot of it is down to the 2014 game against the Patriots where we played in red and red. Okay. And we absolutely destroyed them. And it felt like a very cool kind of... It looks cool as well. It's all red. It's all kitted out. You don't get grass stains as much showing up on it.
Clean then.
As you do with the white.
Yeah, because you're the one washing it every week because that's important, isn't it? Right.
But for me, the red and red it's a signal of power for me as well. Red's like a danger color, and all in red. You just don't want to face in that if you're an NFL team. But you've got a different opinion on that, haven't you, mate?
Well, first of all, you're wrong because the Chiefs have always hyped themselves up far too much when they play on red and red. Like some of the worst performances I can remember have been in red and red. Like 2 weeks ago against the Broncos, awful. Last year against the Colts, even worse. Like they've had some good performances in red and red. I like the Patriots one, like the Bengals a couple of years ago, but mostly the red and red uniform overhypes and definitely disappoints. The best uniform the Chiefs have, and it's not even close, and I will die on this hill,
even say that word.
Is the white on white with red socks and red Under Armour. The player that always used to make it look good was Alex Smith. They've worn that uniform in Oakland and won there. They wore the uniform on the Monday Night Football game against the Rams. Okay, they didn't win that game, but they looked so good during it. Mahomes models it quite well. Eric Berry modeled it very, very well. They can be more free with the accessories, where they put the red in, where they put the white in. It just looks clean. And even when they get dirty, okay, all the mud shows up on the players, but at least they've been in a football game. Like they look like they've grinded. They've done so well in it. They just look dirty. And when they don't look dirty, it's clean, it's fresh. Love it. It looks good no matter how many minutes of football it's been played in. And it is 100% better than the red and red.
Nah, you're wrong. It looks unfinished. It looks like a blank canvas.
No.
That's what it looks like.
See, the finishing touches on this uniform is the red socks.
Yeah?
Hear me out. I don't like the full whites. The white jersey, white pants, white socks. I'm not a fan of that. But as soon as you introduce the red socks and the red Under Armour and any other little accessories of red, it looks so clean. And I love it. And the Chiefs tend to play well in it as well.
Nah, red on red, because the bad guys can't see you bleed. That's what it is.
Also, one more point. The Chiefs won their first playoff game in how many years against the Texans wearing the uniform that I like.
Oh, well. Okay. So where are we putting these two then?
Well, I think they're both going to have to go on Sub-Zero because none of us are going to back down, are we?
We should probably put this to the vote, actually. And I'm actually a bit dubious to put this to the vote because a couple of occasions we've done this. I think Arrowheads Abroad have done this twice. and white on white's come out better twice, I think. Right. So I'm going to stick my neck out on this one, and hopefully the Chiefs Kingdom public will actually see my side of it, and hopefully I'll put a bit of a case forward for red on red. But I'll be happy, right, if we put it to a vote on our Twitter page, which is at Legion Zoomcast. Not Legion of Zoomcast, because we couldn't fit it in. But it's at Legion Zoomcast. If you put it, we'll put a vote up on there, and obviously if you just let us know what you think. Do you like the white on white or the red on red? I think the winner of that should go in Sub-Zero.
That's fair. That's
that
fair.
Bet?
Yeah, I'm going to create loads of burner accounts now to make sure that white on white goes. And also, I think if we get any guests on the show, we should ask them their opinion every single time, and maybe we could tally up that. A red and red versus white on white counter, because it's an important issue.
Yeah, and then we can move it up and down depending on what our guests say as well. I like that. That's a good idea. I like that. Let's use that. All right, then we'll do that each week with different teams. We'll be honest about it as well. I know we've got some rivalries out there, but we will be honest. We'll just be looking purely at the uniforms, what we think of them, and giving you our honest opinions on that. So we think, Tom and I thought it was something that you could also get involved with in this as well. So hope you like that segment. Anyway, next one, we're going to go into the game, which is the Chiefs versus the Saints. And we're going to go into ones to watch. So Tom and I have picked a player each from both teams to give you our thoughts on ones to watch. And should we start with Chiefs first and then go with the Saints?
Yeah, let's start with the Chiefs. I'll go first. I'm going to go first just in case you try and steal my guy. But the guy to watch is Travis Kelce. What can we say about Travis Kelce that hasn't already been said this year? The Saints like to get a lot of pressure up front. Mahomes is going to have to throw early or extend plays against the Saints. It's simple as that. And the guy to go to for that is Travis Kelce. He's been electric this year. He's been wonderful. He's actually probably been the Chiefs' best player, not named Mahomes, but also the Chiefs' most improved player, which is just mental to me. The fact that Travis Kelce has improved that much, even though he's been at elite for years, is just shows the level that he stepped up to this year. Like, we are talking about one of the greatest tight end seasons of all time. Yeah. And he's very close to leading the league in receiving yards, but which has never been done by a tight end. Never. So if you're the Saints defensive coordinator, the first player you need to account for, people always say it's Tyreek Hill. You work down from Tyreek Hill. Not anymore. It's Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is the guy that makes this engine go. And if he has a big game, more often than not, the Chiefs win.
Okay. I think from the Chiefs side, if he plays, this is Willie Gay.
Ooh.
I think this is going to be an interesting matchup with obviously Kamara coming the other way. I think Willie Gay, if he can shut that run down, hopefully it doesn't get to him, but if it breaks through that line, I think Willie Gay is going to be one of those guys that he's fast. I mean, have you seen him like really kind of plugging the gaps? He's really in there, and he's really impressed a lot of people, and he's proven a lot of people right as well, because a lot of us were calling for Willie Gay to start pretty much in the beginning of the season, but we seem to stick with Ben Neiman, I think, at the time.
My boy.
So, your boy.
He's not my boy. There's one thing he's not. He's not my boy. What's gone in my hair? Look, I've got little curtains all of a sudden.
Yeah. We're going on 90s. Like it.
Well, I haven't had a haircut in weeks. I can't at the moment because we're isolating. I'm waiting on COVID results for my little boy. But until we get there, I can't. Hey, he'll be fine. He hasn't got COVID. We can't send him to school until he's got the results.
That's such a sudden response. Yeah, he'd be all right. He'd be all right, mate.
Day off for me today. What can I say? No, I need to get a hairdresser's. Christ, my sister's getting married next week. I can't go to a wedding looking like this.
Yeah, you can. If it's your sister, you just wear the curtains like the boy band, like Backstreet Boys.
Hi, Stacey. I shouldn't really say her name on the show. But, hi, sis. Here's a tribute to the 1990s when we were growing up. Here's some curtains. Is that okay?
Gel it down as well. Gel it down.
Yeah. Should I do the rest of the podcast like this?
Because you're worth it.
Yeah, I'm not doing the rest of the show like this. Next week, by the time we get to the next show, if we have another show, if you guys want another show, I'll have a fresh trim by then, and yeah, I won't be looking like this or playing my hair constantly.
You'll look sexy again, will you?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, what about the Saints side? Who's your one to watch?
I hate the thought of the Chiefs playing a running quarterback. It's something I've been dreading all year, especially when he's paired with an aggressive coach. Like, you can say Deshaun Watson can scramble and run, and he can. But the problem with Deshaun Watson, you have Bill O'Brien, or had Bill O'Brien as his coach. So any 4th and short situations, 3rd and short, they were very conservative. Sean Payton is not that kind of guy. Like, I remember he kicked an onside kick in the Super Bowl after halftime. Like, it's the kind of coach that he is. And a running quarterback that can extend plays, get first downs with his legs, paired with a coach that's more than likely going to go for 4th downs, is a big issue for the Chiefs, because I just can't see them getting off the field. Red zone defense is so important this week, because they need to hold the Saints to 3 points, because they are going to move the ball between the 20s. I have no doubt about that with Taysom Hill. If it was Drew Brees, I'd feel a bit more confident about this game, which sounds mental. But I think the Chiefs can probably handle a pocket passer that has zero mobility. But a mobile quarterback that can extend plays with his legs, paired with a coach that will go for on 4th downs, to me spells disaster. And it's probably the biggest influence on how I've picked this game, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the Chiefs have probably they've had some luck with some of the mobile quarterbacks. I mean, I think the most devastating one was Russell Wilson. I think we just couldn't keep him quiet, could we? But I think this season, Lamar Jackson, the Chiefs, they've handled him. They've handled him well enough. But yeah, I think you're right. I think the Chiefs do have a bit of an issue with anybody who seems to get out of the pocket. The O-line doesn't seem fast enough to chase them down either, does it? But yeah, I agree with you on
D-line,
that.
but I'll give you that mistake.
D-line, sorry. D-line. Yeah, D-line's not fast. What am I doing there? Yeah, the D-line's not fast.
First one back in a while. We'll give you that one mistake.
Just in the cobwebs off me.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I agree with you.
You've got a visitor in the background. That's staying in the show. They're staying in.
They're staying in.
Yeah.
Little peek back there.
Love it.
It's gone. All right then. So it's thrown me off that. So my one to watch, I've actually gone for the defensive side of the ball for the Saints, which is Trey Hendrickson.
Okay.
Yeah, he's doing well with the sacks at the minute. 10.5 sacks for the Saints this season. I think he's the leading one out of the Saints. So yeah, I think he's one to watch, especially with us, missing like Schwartz. I think Fish is okay though, isn't he?
I don't know. Last I saw, we had all 5 linemen not practicing or limited in some way. So
yeah,
which it could be a makeshift group on Sunday. So is what I was alluding to earlier about the Chiefs having to get the ball out quickly, or Mahomes having to make plays with his legs, because the O-line against that defense is not going to have a fun day at all.
It's a good pass rush, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Devastating pass rush. So yeah, that's my only concern on that one. And I think, like I said, I think Hendrickson is one of those that can really get to the quarterback. And Mahomes is going to have to use his wheels quite a bit, I think, on this game, which is going to be a difficult one. Mm-hmm. So anyway, that leads us on to predictions, mate.
Wow.
Predictions. Are you going to go first with your prediction?
Go on then.
I want to hear your prediction.
I've only predicted one loss so far this season, and that was to a running quarterback in week 3. That's why I was convinced. I thought Lamar Jackson was going to kill the Chiefs, and I was wrong. Happy to be wrong, of course. But I think the Chiefs lose this weekend. I think Taysom Hill and Sean Payton are an issue. I think the Chiefs' lack of putting games away is an issue. And also, the Chiefs don't need this game. Obviously, they would like it because it makes everything easier. But they don't need it. And we've seen complacency get in at times with Andy Reid's teams. Not all the time, not especially under Mahomes, but we've seen it in the past of Andy Reid teams where they've come into games not really up for it. And that's what I'm worried about this week. I'm a bit worried about that. And the Saints desperately need this game because they want the number 1 seed. And if they lose this weekend, they're going to be a game behind the Packers, and the Packers will own the tiebreaker as well. So they 100% need this game. And it's not like Sean Payton's a bad coach. He's a very good coach. And I just got a bad feeling about this weekend. The Chiefs are going to lose by like 1 or 2 points. And it's going to be the whole, why didn't they put the game away type thing. And that's going to come back to bite them on the bum.
Okay. Well, my prediction is I actually think this is going to go into overtime.
Wow. Like last time.
We haven't had one for a while.
Like the last time.
Yeah. So, I think it'll go into overtime. I think the Chiefs might eke it, but it might just be like, the ending on a field goal kind of thing. It's a tough game. And I know it's all up in the air at the moment whether Drew Brees is actually going to be playing or not. And I think, like you said before, it kind of hinges on if he is playing, I think we win. If he isn't playing, then I think the Chiefs are going to have problems. And it's those, like you were saying before, it's those trick plays, things like that with Hill as quarterback. I think it's going to be a tight one. And again, as you were saying, trying to get the Chiefs trying to get the Saints off the field is going to be difficult. They've got a hell of a run game with Kamara. They're going to eat a lot of clock with that. It's just one of those games that I don't really fancy it, but I think we might just eke it out. And it's probably going to be something like, I don't know, 28-30 or something like that to the Chiefs.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I would take that as well.
It's not the blowout win we want, but I'll take any win right now. Winning's. I know. I want a complete performance, but at the same time, winning is all that matters right now because we want that number 1 seed. All
right, mate. I think that's all we've got time for on this one. I'm just having a look in the background there. Is that my mini helmet you've got there?
It is. It's a DJ mini helmet.
Oh,
Thank
nice.
you very much.
Are you starting out a little bit of a man cave as well? Is that what you're doing?
No, this is it. I can't go too much.
It's going to evolve. I'm telling you now. Each week's going to evolve with new things.
No, this is
You'll get the bug.
No.
Nope. All right, then. Well, we hope you've enjoyed the new Legion of Zoomcast. Like I said, we're going to have our own YouTube eventually, but it will be on the Brit Chief channel for now. If you like it, obviously, subscribe to the Brit Chief channel. But also, if you want to check it out on Twitter, it's at Legion Zoomcast. And like I said, we've got that vote on there as well, whether you like the white on white or the red on red. But look out for the next show. We'll let you know when the next show is on the Twitter page. And thanks very much for watching, guys. We'll speak to you again soon.